What's up guys, Flystream Fishing here, and today's video I'm just going to be going over all the tackle and rods and reels that I'm using in my videos, just to let you guys know what I'm using. I might in the beginning or end of some of my videos tell you what I was using, but this is just going to give you a overview of what I have rod and reel wise and tackle wise that I have in my tackle box. So let's go ahead and get started with the combos. With the rod and reels. So this is a Daiwa combo. I'm not 100% sure what it is. Oh, it's a Daiwa shot combo. So this is a 2500 series reel, and then the rod is, it actually doesn't say how big the rod is. Probably 6.5 to 7 foot long. I have this paired up with 10-pound braid, and then I mainly throw Ned rigs and wacky rigs on it. Next up is my heavier duty bait caster. I have this, so the reel is a 13 Fishing Origin FT reel with the gear ratio is 8.1 to 1, and I have 20-pound Daiwa J braided line on it. I normally use this rod to throw just bigger baits in general, like whopper ploppers like I have here, jigs, and swim baits, just any big bait in general that's a little heavier. Then I have this Favorite Fishing Fire Stick combo. I bought it as a combo, but the reel really wasn't that great, so I just sold the reel and I put this KastKing Spartacus on it. I really love this reel. It is literally impossible to backlash. I love this reel so much. It's very, I've taught a handful of people how to throw a bait caster with this reel just because it doesn't backlash. But I have 10-pound braid on this. Braided line is just my way to go. I'm never going to use monofilament in my life. I just don't like it. I can't feel, especially in bass fishing. I mean, if I was bluegill fishing and crappie fishing, maybe, but with bass, I don't tend to use it just because of the memory that it gets in it. And it gets tangled. I get bird's nest every single time, even in spinning reels. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. So this, I just throw lighter lures, like lighter crankbaits. Just any lighter lure, anything that I'm not going to be throwing on my heavy rod. And then this is my ultralight. This is a Soyulang. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure. This is my ultralight, so it's a 1000 series reel. It is a 6-foot rod. It's very smooth. So this was like $30 on Amazon. It was a very good deal. And the hook keeper is actually collapsible, so if you're like using it or not using it, you can just fold it down here against the rod. If you are using it, you just fold it up like this. But it's very good. I have it paired up with 8-pound braid. Again, not really a big monofilament or fluorocarbon guy. Okay, moving on to tackle. This is my tackle bag. I got it for my birthday this year on Amazon. So let's just start here with the outer pockets, if I can get this zipped. Okay, as you can see, this is my sunglasses case. I normally just keep a pair of sunglasses in here. And it's got a hard protective shell that, like, if it gets smashed, it's not going to ruin your sunglasses, so don't worry about that. Over here on this side is where I keep my pliers, and then this is where I find baits that the hooks are rusted, and I just take the hooks off and then throw them in the trash can, and I just leave the baits in here, excuse me, until I have some new hooks. Let me scoot over a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, and then in this pocket we have my ultralight stuff. Just a bunch of small jig heads for like ice fishing or just bluegill fishing in general. You just put it on there, throw a little worm on there, and then boom, you got some bait. Then this is more like crappie. Well, you can call it bluegill too, because I got the little worm hooks on there too, but this is mainly focused on crappie fishing. I don't get to go very often, but I do love catching me some crappie, and they taste very delicious. And then I also keep my scissors in here, and then my multi-tool if I don't have these pliers with me. And then there's also on this multi-tool a hook sharpener, so if I ever need my hook sharpened while I'm fishing, I can just get it out and sharpen my hook. And then I also have just a spare skirt if I'm wanting to put a skirt on anything. If like a skirt band breaks or anything like that, I could just replace it. Okay, now inside this pocket with my pliers is just all the little dividers that the tackle boxes came with. I don't really keep anything other than that in here, I don't think. Let me check. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Then we are moving on to this side of the bag right here. This has like, I don't know what you would put here. My pliers don't fit there. My multi-tool doesn't fit there. Maybe a fillet knife if you want to carry that around with you. But I just keep my spare line in here. Like here's my spare 8-pound braided line. And then for saltwater fishing, I have a, oh, well there's a hook that I had. Need to put that in the tackle box whenever I get it out. But for saltwater fishing, I have some fluorocarbon for some leader. And it's actually a pretty good sized pocket. And it's got like some little dividers in there. It's a really nice tackle bag. So the line goes in there. That's where I keep my line. Okay, now on the very top of the bag is where I keep all my baits that I want to keep in their bags. Mainly Googan Squad stuff because they have, oh, well there's my instructions and owner's manual to my ultralight. But mainly Googan Squad stuff because their bags, soft plastics, come in the little plastic cases inside. So first we have this KVD finesse worms I normally use for drop shots. Then we have several different colors and sizes of Bandito bugs. Colors being Bomba Bug, Natural, and then green pumpkin purple. And then I also have a bag of the Googan Blazing Worms and Watermelon Red. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff back in here. Did have a little bit of trouble at first getting the Blazing Worms in there just because the packaging was so big, but I eventually got it. Oops, forgot this. Okay, now then we can move it to the inside of the tackle bag. Or actually, no. So on this side is where I have my fish grippers, and then my scale. Now we can move into the inside of the tackle bag. Okay, so if we unzip this, or here, let's go ahead and talk about this. So on the front, it comes with plier holder, which my pliers came with one, so I didn't need it. But if you guys have pliers, and my multi-tool did not fit in that, so I couldn't put that right there. But I always carry a pocket knife just in case I'm catfish fishing and need to cut up some bait, or just I find a lure at a tree and need to cut some line or something. And then I have my line cutters. They honestly work a lot easier and a lot quicker than the pocket knife at cutting like braided line, let's say. And they work very, very well. So inside we have my phone case protector for whenever I'm out fishing so I can record. Normally it doesn't look like this because they're all separated and stuff, but whenever I just got back from a road trip, so my tackle boxes are kind of all over the place. So in this tackle box, I think is mainly my top water stuff and my jigs. I know it's kind of weird to have those in the same tackle box, but I don't really have much. So we have like my top water frogs and then swim baits and this little part right here, like soft swim baits. We have dark color jigs, light color jigs, and then I also have a chatterbait in there as well. Then I have a walking bait and then just some whopper ploppers. Okay, next box. So these boxes do not really have that much storage, so I had to get one of my own. So this is just where I keep my flukes, my Zoom Super Flukes. I definitely recommend getting some of these. These flukes is what caught me my personal best, being 4 pounds. I mean, to some of y'all that might be big, some of y'all might be not. Okay, next box is my mainly soft plastics box. Mainly have my stick baits and stuff like that in here. I do have my paddle tails in here because a while back I did have my other tackle bag stolen from me, which had all my trailers and all my spinner baits in it because the kayak that I was using at the time I didn't have enough space to bring my bag with me, so I had to leave some tackle boxes inside my bag. But yeah, that got stolen from me, so I didn't have very many trailers. I don't have very many trailers. That that's just why. And I did have, for that reason, I did lose all my spinner baits, so I don't have any spinner baits. I will be getting more. I know not a lot of you, but some people may comment on this video saying, hey, do you have any spinner baits, and why not? That's the reason. But this, I just have my paddle tails in, just anything soft plastic really, mainly crawdads and stick baits. My favorite stick bait is definitely this Yumdinger and chartreuse, or green pumpkin chartreuse, I think is the color. Definitely caught a lot of fish on that. But if I was going to wacky rig it, Bass Pro Shops actually makes the same worm, just a little bit thicker, and it doesn't have the little thing in it that they use for Texas rigging. But if you were going to wacky rig, definitely go with the Bass Pro Shops brand. For paddle tails, I like to use Strike King. So this is Strike King, and then this is Strike King. And then Googan Squad Saucy Swimmers. Saucy Swimmers have a great scent. For crawdads, love to use, so this one is like a beaver style bait. I would throw this like as a jig trailer. And then for Texas, just a normal Texas rig crawdad, definitely use a Bandito bug, any color Bandito bug. Okay, next box. Okay, next box is my terminal tackle box. So this is a very heavy tackle box just because of all the weights and stuff like that I have in it. So I have these big hooks. I normally use these for flukes, just so they sink a little bit faster and they fit a bit better than these wide gaps right here. But yeah, just a big worm hook, just a big wide gap hook. And I use these for mainly crawdads and Senkos. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Okay. I think this is a 2/0, and then those are a 4 or 5/0. But I can't remember what brand those are. Okay, then we have my weights. I can't remember what these are called. Ignore my cat in the background, please. Willow, can you please be quiet? Oh, well. And so I don't know what these weights are called, but I like to use them for catfish fishing or whenever I'm fishing in the ocean for bait. And then I use these for whenever I'm catfish fishing, whenever I get a Carolina rig. And then there's a different kind of fishing that I like to use in whenever I'm fishing in current, and it involves a 3-way swivel and a little bank sinker. Sorry, I had a brain fart for just a second, guys. So like you tie your leader or your braider right here, and then you tie your leader to right here, and then I like to use like a foot of, let's say I'm throwing a whole bluegill, probably about 25-pound to 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, like a whole 1.5 feet of it, and then a big, not a big circle hook, but just something that looks like this. I think this is a 4 or 5/0 circle hook, and then I also like to use the octopus hooks as well. Offset octopus hooks, by the way. And then jig head wise, I don't really have much. I have a wacky rig jig head, and then like a heavy duty crappie jig head, and then a shaky head, I think is what it's called. Just some bait holder hooks, drop shot hooks, and Texas rig hooks, my bad. Then my bobbers, and then I have these pyramid weights if I don't want to use these on that kind of rig. Next box. Okay, so this is my hard bait box. Nothing much to explain here, just some swim baits, rattle trap, square bills, deep divers, my ultralight crankbaits, and then I've got one more deep diver that didn't fit over here, and then I have a wake bait, I think that's what it's called, and then it's some jerk baits. For swim bait wise, I really like to use these Googan Squad Junior Contenders, but if you're going for trophy bass, I recommend sizing up and using the normal contender, or just going with a 6th Sense S-Waver, which is definitely my favorite big swim bait. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos. Bye.